Hello there.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Well, I'd probably have to say mine is that one, where the girl answers the phone when she's home alone and she's making popcorn, preparing to watch scary movies. But the scary voice on the other end of the line keeps asking her trivia. Yes, yes, Scream. As some of you may know, my ultimate favorite movie franchise is releasing its newest installment tomorrow, and I could not be more enthused. So I thought to celebrate, I'd crack open a nice root beer and give you a rundown on my theories, predictions, wants, must haves, must not haves, and opinions of Scream 7. That way, when I go to see it tomorrow, you'll know whether or not I'm right. Well, you won't know until you see it, but you'll know that because I posted this today, that I was right ahead of time, right? So, what if I could have anything in a Scream 7? What would I have? Honestly, first and foremost, I would have the opening, and I've not read any spoilers or any of that, so any of these predictions could be completely wrong because I know a lot has been allegedly spoiled online. I know none of that. I don't want to know any of that. I'm going into this raw. I want to solve it for me like I do every Scream. So, so yeah. I haven't gotten to see a Scream in theaters since Scream 4, which was my birthday movie way back when. And I'm excited. I'm very excited. Sydney is probably my favorite final girl of all, and I hope they do her justice. So, for Scream 7, my ultimate ideal opening kill would be, and I hate to give my girl more trauma, but it would start with a very Wes Anderson style shot. Everything is just perfectly center framed. And we see a ghost face attack Sydney, and Sydney just, pulls out a gun, drops Ghostface immediately. We lift up Ghostface's mask, and it's a kid. Just, some random teen. And everyone's like, why would Stevie be the killer? And we don't even know who Stevie is, right? But we would have Tatum, Sydney's daughter, Tatum, say, oh, he's TikTok famous. And then we would find out that there was no real threat. Someone had found out who Sydney was and was trying to exploit that for fame to make a little TikTok to go viral and died. And then to see Sydney dealing with that, with maybe the town backlash and the vitriol, while also a new Ghostface does rise up in attempt to kill her, while no one believes her because they all think that she is just so paranoid and sick from PTSD. That would be my ideal Scream 7. I think it lends to found footage, and I would love Scream to tackle the found footage genre. I think that is a big horror subgenre that's rife for the picking for Scream that has been yet to be touched on, and I'm ready to see what they could do with it. Will we get that? Probably not. Would I love it? Yes. Yes, I would. Right off the bat from the trailers I've seen, I do think my immediate suspect would be that Tatum is the killer. Maybe she's been groomed by an alive Stu Macher. Yes, I'm a Struther, aka a Stu Truther, aka I have been adamant for years that Stu Macher is alive and unwell, somewhere out and about. I have the evidence to back it up from Matthew Lillard's cameo in Scream 2 to his cameos in any of the other Screams. But yes. So they are leaning heavy in the trailers in a way that makes me think Stu is alive. I would love Stu to be alive, but what I would love more than to be proven right would be to have my expectations subverted. So my ideal institute patient for the insane asylum shown in the trailers would not be Stu Macher, as much as I love him. It would be Angelina Tyler, the, in my opinion, uncredited killer of Scream 3, Roman Bridger's unnamed assistant. If you know, you know, but there's a lot of reasons to suspect that Angelina Tyler might have been killing her way to the top to become more famous / infamous and to really sell America on her spot as their victim turned heroine. And that can be a controversial opinion in the Scream fandom, but I love it. I love her, and yeah, because ultimately, if there's one thing we've not seen done in a Scream yet, it's 2 female killers, and I think we're overdue. So I suspect that the most obvious turn of killer then for Scream 7, because we have to let Scream 7 mirror Scream 3, even though we're one off. But you can have it mirror Scream 3 and also mirror Scream 4, which is what I think they would be doing. And in that way, I think we could see some... I'm not gonna lie, I forgot where I was going. But yes, so what do I want to see in Scream 7? What do I expect to see? I'm going into it, I'm expecting that Mindy and Chad will die. I love Mindy. I could take or leave Chad, but I'm expecting that they're up. I hope they don't do an off-screen killing. If they do an off-screen killing of the Carpenter sisters, I could get behind it, because that is such a horror franchise thing to do. And I didn't really care for the Carpenter storyline. I didn't care for the de-aged Billy flashbacks. I thought the idea of a protagonist killer could be very interesting. I loved the way that Scream 6 faked that out, and I would love to see that followed through. So really, I think that Tatum might be the killer, and we might be gearing up for a Scream 8 that is basically the original Scream 5, which would be following Ghostface killer Tatum instead of Jill to college. A new Ghostface rises up against her, unknowing that she is Ghostface. And then we see them tear off against each other. I would love that. That would be my favorite, maybe. I think the most obvious answer for 2 female killers, which is where I was talking about earlier, but I had forgotten, would be to have Stu Macher's sister Leslie be somehow the killer and her daughter that she's been raising the whole time. That's the most obvious thing. Do I hate it? No. Do I love it? Maybe. It would depend on the execution, really. But yeah, I think what I would do with the story, I would have Tatum be the killer with maybe her best friend, keep it a secret. Maybe she kills off the best friend, makes it, the best friend, and frames the best friend's boyfriend, and then, goes to college. We get that. I would love that. I also think you could play into the Lost Scream 3 with this, which was originally a Cult of Stu type thing going on, which is another reason why I believe that Stu Macher is alive in general. And yeah, I would love that. I could really get behind it. Scream 5 with the killers in Scream 5. I cannot think of the girl's name, but Richie and the girl, it's Mikey Madison is the actress. I just can't think of her character's name. There we met on a chat room and we're the killers. That really heavily mirrored the original Derek and Hallie motives of the original Scream 2 or the leaked Scream 2. There's, controversies on whether or not that was a planned leak or, whether or not that was an accidental leak and they wrote on the fly. I don't know. But yeah, so I think going into it, I assume Tatum is the killer, or Tatum's best friend is really secretly Leslie Monker's daughter, and Leslie Monker and the daughter are killing people. Those would be the two obvious things. I think I'm rooting for Angelina Tyler to be the insane patient, but I would love Stu because I love Stu. I would love to see more Stu. I could see maybe doing a Dewey reveal wherein Dewey was always a bad guy. I don't think they'll do that now since he's died. I think it's a little late in the game for that. I do think that was an original plan, and that Scary Movie making a joke of it is why we never got that. I will die on that hill. Flame me, I do not care. I will die on that hill. I do think. I know that I'm excited. I know that I'm excited about it. I love them, and I can't wait to see what they do with them and where they go with them. What else? Let me think. I had something else to say, but I cannot remember. You know, I don't script these videos. I just sit down and improv them. I just say to you guys what I'm thinking. But maybe I need to start making note cards. Let me think for just a second. Yes, I would love for Sydney's other kids to be canonized. My ideal situation would be Mark, aka Patrick Dempsey from Scream 3, is Tatum's father, leading to Sydney to get a divorce, remarry a different Mark, aka John McHale. And then Tatum's motive for killing would be not only does she maybe want some of that notoriety that her mom has, that she, is so reluctant to profit from, but she wants freedom to prove that she can be safe, but also she doesn't like her stepdad and wants to get rid of him. That's my cold theory for Scream. Just going right into it. I could also see maybe Gail doing it, or Gail having been involved from the beginning, just because, as Randy taught us, this is the time to find out something we thought was true originally was not true, ever. And they kind of regress Gail's character every new installment. It's kind of a reboot of Gail. We'll have all this character development and all this, oh, I'm different now. And then the next one, and she's like, ooh, I love money and writing these books. So maybe she's doing it for material. I could get behind that. I feel like we're gearing up for 2 female killers. And that is my ultimate Scream 7 prediction. And tomorrow night when I get home from seeing it in theaters, I will very much be giving you my spoiler-free reaction. And maybe I'll even post a reaction that's not so spoiler-free. We'll see. Thank you and good night. Please comment your Scream predictions and what you would love to see in Scream 7 and your ideas for Scream 8. Thank you. Good night.